Going to cut a little bit of news. I haven't cut news for a couple of weeks now, so let's go back and see what we got. Man arrested after urinating in view of customers at restaurant in the Villages. First thing, oh, look at this, he's drunk. Look at this guy. You guys see that? He even looks like a nut. A man was arrested after urinating in view of the customers at a restaurant in the Villages. Law enforcement was called early Friday morning at Gators Dockside of Spanish Springs Town Square, where 34-year-old Stephen Earl Fish was arguing with customers and causing a disturbance, according to a arrest report from Lady Lake Police Department. He was also observed by several customers at the business urinating on a light pole in plain view of patrons, the arresting officer wrote in his report. Fish, who had been ordered to leave the restaurant, returned and walked right in front of a police with his pants falling down. When Fish, who lives at 709 Truman Avenue on the historic side of the Villages, was arrested, he responded, "No, I'm not." He stiffened his body and refused to enter the patrol car. When a female officer attempted to get Fish's feet into the car, he intentionally kicked her in the hand. He was arrested and charges of battery on a law enforcement, disorderly intoxication, and trespassing. He was booked at the Lake County Jail on $13,000 bond. I'm just going to say this, and I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about this, but they need to do something about cleaning up that Spanish Springs area and the historic side, which is the Silver Lake side, really. That's the troubled side. It's an older area. There's nothing wrong with it. I go up and play golf at Orange Blossom Gardens all the time, and I have lunch up there. I have no problem with the place at all. But it seems as time goes on, the historic side and the Spanish Springs side has more and more trouble. And I don't know why. It's usually done by younger people. So is it because they're on the outside? Right there by 441, where anybody can willy-nilly just roam in there and cause trouble? Is it because the elderly people are passing away, leaving their homes to their grandchildren or whatever to inherit a free home? I don't know what the problem is, but I know this, and I'll say it right up front. If I was going to come down here and spend $250,000 or more on a house, I would not buy in that area, because it just seems like they continually have trouble up there. A teenage girl on a boogie board is bitten by a shark. Yeah, that happens like every year. Immigration agents in Southwest Florida ahead of scheduled raids on undocumented immigrants this weekend. You know, when I made a statement here a while back about it seemed like there's a lot of drug activity in the state of Florida overall compared to the rest, I watched a documentary 2 days ago on the Florida news. Wish I'd have recorded some of it, but I didn't. You might be able to Google it. It was about the drug activity in the state of Florida, and it answered some questions. One is, Miami is the biggest import of illegal drugs than any city in the United States. More than a borderline of Mexico, which is San Diego, those areas, more than that. Miami is the #1 spot where drug activity comes in. I-95 corridor is the main highway, the main trafficking of drugs from Miami all the way up the eastern coast. There is a lot of drug activity in Florida, more than other states. Tropical Storm Barry. Tropical Storm Barry and how it will impact Central Florida's weather. While the weather will likely start going downhill for parts of the Gulf Coast and Mississippi River Valley, the weather in Central Florida will actually become nicer from Barry overall this weekend. Gate strikes account for 75% of gate malfunctions in the Villages. How people end up running into these gates is beyond me. There must be alcohol involved. Food truck bound for southern end of the Villages passes initial state inspection. Florida woman caught urinating into ice cream bucket, spitting into ice cream at shop in Indian Shores, Florida. Jung Soon Wipcha, age 66, was seen using the bathroom with the door wide open on 5 different occasions in the back room of the ice cream shop, beginning June 17. In each incident, the affidavit claims she does not wash her hands before walking over to the freezer where the organic ice cream is stored and putting her hands in the containers of ice cream. Wipke is seen picking her nose before putting her hands in the ice cream. Indian Shores police say another video shows her spitting into the ice cream containers. On June 22nd, Wipcha is reportedly seen going into the bathroom. As she is unable to open the lock, she uses one of the buckets used to churn the homemade ice cream to urinate into. She then empties the bucket into the rinsing sink used for washing ice cream utensils, police claim. She opened the freezer to put her hands inside and leaves the room. The business was forced to close, and the incidents cost around $2,000 worth of product damage for public safety. Wipke was arrested Monday around 12:30 p.m. and was issued a bond of $50,000. She's charged with criminal mischief and going against the Florida Anti-Tampering Act. New fire station at southern end of the village is officially open for business. That's the new fire station south of 44 as you go down toward the Finney area. They got that fire station open. Florida woman recovering from flesh-eating bacteria infection as doctor warns cases likely to rise. This guy's had an article about him before. He speaks his mind, and he calls it the way he sees it. I kind of respect that. Community Development District 7 Supervisor Jerry Vicente issued the call at the project-wide advisory committee meeting. This is really a hot button and nobody wants to go near it, Vicente said as he rolled out a statement he had written the previous night. Last month, Vicente and fellow CDD 7 Supervisor Bill Van Dolen voted against the interlocal agreement that would lock the PWAC's advisory status, ceding ultimate power for 20 years to the Sumter Atlantic Community Development District Board. Vicente on Monday called on fellow PWAC members to revisit the resolution which ensures the committee's subservient status. In my opinion, we have 2 forms of government in the villages. We have the SLCDD Board, which consists of owners of commercial properties, a very small minority of the villages that controls the village's government, and they don't have to answer to no one but themselves, are elected within themselves by themselves. To add insult to injury, some of them don't live in the villages, which controls millions of dollars of the residents' funds. See that face? Whoops, come on, focus. Well, there it is. See that face? Remember it. You move down here, don't hire this guy. One man is behind bars after Sumter County officials said he took advantage of elderly residents at the villages. Detectives said Christopher Monday served as a handyman, pet sitter, and dog walker in the area. Officials believe Monday helped himself to the checkbook and valuables of some residents after being trusted to take care of their pets. The elderly population is a very trusting population because in their generation, their word is their bond, said Jeffrey Cohen of the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. There are people who take advantage of that, unfortunately. Monday was involved in several attempts to cash a check from the victim. Another victim realized she had been targeted after she relocated. She moved to New Mexico and she noticed at the time in March a valuable diamond and gold ring were missing. Monday was caught after he sold the diamond ring. Deputies believe that he could have more victims who don't realize they were stolen from. Officials said this is Monday's first arrest. He faces numerous charges, including grand theft. Oh yeah, I was going to report this last week and I forgot. Florida has a lot of invasive species here. Not necessarily animals, but also trees and things like that are invasive. And here's one of them they had a problem with in the villages, and I think they still have a problem with it. They're trying to get rid of it, and it's just a hard thing to do because of animal life. People come down with a fish aquarium. let's say. Or they bought stuff here. And then at the pet store, in the fish aquarium, you can buy like seaweed, I'll call it that, and you put it in the fish aquarium and it'll grow and the fish eat on it and things, whatever. Or snails. You can get snails, or there'll be snail eggs on the seaweed, and then they hatch in the aquarium. Well, and then the people decided they don't want the fish aquarium no more, and they were just dumping this stuff into the local ponds. The seaweed continues to grow. The snails that might have been in that fish aquarium, that's an invasive species, and they just take over, and they just continue on. Well, another invasive species down here, animal life, is the iguana. You've probably seen them, if you've been in Florida, and especially the southern part, Miami area and things like that, there's iguanas everywhere. They lay in the trees, they're on the rocks, you see them all the time. There's a picture of one right there. There's a picture of one right there. That's an iguana. That's an invasive species. Florida has put out the all-kill permission to kill all of them. And they're telling all residents anywhere in Florida, really. We don't have them here. It gets too cold up here in the winter. But they're telling everybody down there, kill them. You got our permission, no license are needed. Kill them, kill them, kill them. We don't want them around, just kill them. Well, there's a lot of people down there that's not from this country, and they eat them because in, let's just say Jamaica, because I've been to Jamaica, it's like fried chicken down there to them. They'll take the legs and they skin them and they'll cook them on an outdoor grill, and maybe it ends up in a pot of kind of like a hearty beef stew that you think is beef, but it really ain't beef, and they eat them. So I'm not sure that killing all of them down there is going to work, because there's going to be a lot of people. They're going to catch them. They're going to hang on to them. They're going to keep them alive because they eat them. It's free. So that's going to be a problem. But anyway, I just thought it interesting that you guys would know that there's an all-kill issued for the iguana. I'll read a little bit. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is telling Florida homeowners they have permission to kill green iguanas found on their property. Authorities say the invasive species can damage seawalls, sidewalks, and plants. The Washington Post reports the reptiles have been spotted in Florida since the 1960s and have exploded in population in recent years. The Post adds, climate change may be the blame for their thriving population, which some scientists say has caused warmer, more hospitable climates for them to expand. On the other hand, iguanas have been known to freeze in places like Florida during colder than usual temperatures. Green iguanas are not protected by the anti-cruelty law and can be killed year-round without a permit on 22 public lands across South Florida. Commercial license must be purchased to sell or import the species to the state. Some people enjoy the taste of iguanas, and the Washington Post also reports some Caribbean countries call them the chicken of the trees. The SWB radio warns people looking to hunt iguanas for food, however, should be careful since some iguanas may be poisonous. The all-kill for the green iguana is out there. That's the news for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the other side. Oh, wait a minute. I read this morning's news. Spanish Springs. A new villager bought a home in Alhambra. And while he went to Spanish Springs to order his new golf cart and have it built, once you order a brand new golf cart, the villagers from that point on will guarantee you will never be without a golf cart. What that means is you take your golf cart into the store, get the oil changed, get it serviced in any way, whatever you're there for, they will give you a free loaner. And usually they're fairly new. You can use that until yours is done. They'll call you when yours is done, you bring that golf cart back. That's one of the advantages of buying a golf cart at the village's golf cart store. Other golf cart companies here don't do that. Even the ones that are high dollar, they don't guarantee you a loaner when yours has to go into the shop. And village's golf cart store does. And that's why I bought mine there. I am never without a golf cart no matter what. So this guy orders his new golf cart, gets everything done. They give him a brand new Yamaha golf cart, probably a gas, I'm going to guess, to use until his golf cart is done and ready, because you have to pick a color, you got to pick out the seats you want, do you want a wood grain dash, all these things as extras they got to put on your golf cart. So while he's there, he decides, well, I think I'll go over to Ruby Tuesdays and have me some lunch. So he takes his new golf cart from the golf cart store, which is just generally down the road, just a block, and he goes over to Ruby's and he parks it out front. He goes inside, and he has lunch. While he's in there, and didn't say how long, he realized, I left the key in the golf cart. How many times have I said this? Don't leave your keys in the golf cart. Don't leave your purse or any valuables in that golf cart. Cameras, golf clubs, unless you can keep an eye on that golf cart. You're sitting outside and you're looking at that golf cart. Don't do it, because things happen. And in Spanish Springs, it seems to be happening more and more. So he realized, I left the key in the golf cart. He gets up, he goes back outside, and just that fast, he realized his golf cart was gone. He calls the police, and now they're looking for it. They haven't found it yet, or at least they haven't reported finding it yet. They got the number. Whenever the Villages gives you a rental cart, that's what these are, rental carts. There's a number on the front of it. So they're looking for this cart. I think they said it was white and blue maybe, and it had a number on the front, and they describe it. And anyway, the police is looking for it. The odds are they're going to find it. Some kids, I say kid, I could be wrong. It could be another drug addict up there stole the golf cart, and he'll try to sell parts off of it. It's happened before. People, listen to me. When you come down here, and I don't care if you rent a cart, I don't care if you buy a cart or borrow a cart, don't leave any valuables in it. I don't care where you go. I don't care what time of day you go. Don't leave any valuables in it. Take the key out of that golf cart. And like I say, unless you're going to sit in a certain place where you can see your cart and keep an eye on your cart. There's people down at Brownwood, and even in Brownwood, they'll line the square up with golf carts because they're going to go dancing, they're going to be listening to music. They're not paying no attention. They're drinking a beer, they're dancing, they're having a good time. People from Wildwood or the surrounding areas, they walk right through Brownwood all the time. That's why I keep telling you, it's open to the public. That means something. It's open to the public. That means everybody that's a thief, a crook, a druggie, whatever, can walk downtown Brownwood where you're at. And if you leave a key in that golf cart, it could be gone. 9 o'clock comes, the band shuts down. Hey, it's time to go home. Where's my cart? Didn't I park it over here? It's gone. And nobody knows where it went. So here's what I do. I got on my cell phone, I took a picture of my golf cart from the front to the back. I took a picture of the serial number on the golf cart. I took a picture of some identifying things on the golf cart. I also have I got a gas cart. I also have a hidden, and that's just what I'm going to say, I got a hidden shutoff switch. So when I park it for a long period of time and I know I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on it, I can shut it off to where the ignition won't work. And it's like it's got no battery in it at all. It just won't work. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything, but that sure slows them down to the point where I don't think they'll mess with it very long because they want a quick in and out. They don't want to hang around looking for stuff. If I get done playing golf and we go to a country club to have a beer or two, I try to park my golf cart where I'm going to sit, where I can kind of see my golf cart sitting out there, because on the back of my golf cart are my very expensive golf clubs. There's nothing cheap about a new set of custom-made golf clubs. Some people has a lock where they actually lock the golf clubs to the cart. I don't know if that actually does anything other than slowing him down. Just keep an eye on things, man. Just don't trust it. Retirement community here, it's just turning into a big, small city. And, so just be aware. That's all I'm saying, man. Be aware. Take that key, put it in your pocket, take that purse, take it with you. Make sure you didn't leave your billfold in the glove box in the golf cart. Make sure that you can see your clubs. If you go by your house on the way to somewhere, take the clubs out of your cart. Leave them in the garage. Once again, I will see you guys on the other side.